That red diamond ring. Ugh. That is the diamond referred to in the letter, which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Ah! We got you now, Pinocchio. Order in the court. Order, I say. It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Wright. Oh, I don't like the way he said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke at me? Are you for real? We are for real, dude. Come on. Slam. Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Okay, well, that doesn't totally disprove Luke at me. An identity he wanted to keep a secret, so just was that obvious identity. The obvious identity. If anybody gets that reference, you're my friend. I mean, it could be mask to mask, but that feels a bit too obvious. I think he's the one blackmailing. We could go with mask to mask. It's too obvious. I kind of want to see what happens if you go with it, though. Luke at me was mask to mask. What? That's my line. What's that supposed to mean? That's my line, too. Listen up, you. This is what you've been saying up to this point in time. The witness pretended to be mask to mask in order to pin the murder on the defendant. In which case, you'll want to insist up into and beyond the day you die that Ron Delight was in fact mask to mask. I must say, this sudden change of heart doesn't reflect well on you. No, it doesn't. Alright, well that was fun. A blackmailer. Luke at me was a blackmailer.
Objection!
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke at me. Are you saying that at me was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke at me. But Ron Delight was being blackmailed by a certain someone. Planning his crimes for him, basically. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans. Oh yeah, so kind, very kind to plan your crimes for you. That would mean Ron Delight actually was mask to mask. That's what we were claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke at me. Shh, silence! So this is why Ron Delight turned himself in? I think. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... You say that I, Luke at me, was blackmailing Ron Delight, in which case I would naturally know all about his relation to Mask to Mask. Well, duh, yeah. Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Correct. So what's the problem with that? The photo clearly shows you two together. Oh, come on! It clearly shows them together. What could be clearer than that? I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received... Tables turned. Gets into lots of mischief, trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. I was gonna be so pissed if that was wrong. I would have had to go all the way back to my other save. Not that it was that bad, but he took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid. Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atney. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron Delight. I hate when the text goes by so fast I don't even get a clear look at it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. Well, I mean, he's got a big nose, so he lies a lot. That's what happened to Pinocchio. I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why, you... How dare you even imply someone so smart and capable... None of you can compare to my genius, you're just jealous. Sagun, desecratame, ace detective cannot handle black... That's enough to make one laugh. I didn't get to read all that. I think that was the point. It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atney. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atney.
Objection!
Objection! Okay, Mr. Bedtime Story, what's your deal? The hammer that strikes too fast. What? Are you MC Hammer? Allow me to say one thing. Stop. Hammer time. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite. What do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atney was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder. Mordor. But what? Sip my coffee. There's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Slam. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB Security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way! Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright, this is it. This is the final round. This is the final round. How many rounds have you been going? You must have a lot of stamina. That's long enough. Mr. Trite, I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Atney was at KB Security, and the defense can't prove it. Imagine, we can't prove it. The defense can prove it with evidence. Are you sure? No, I'm not sure at all. I've never been sure. Never been sure of anything in my life. Proof that Luke Atney was at KB Security that night. Besides the silhouette. Okay, apparently the right answer is that you can't prove it. So, I guess we just have to bite the bullet for now and take the penalty. Yeah, the only thing I can think of was, what if this wasn't really used? What if this was the weapon used to, for the blunt trauma? Whatever, but it seems like this is a losing battle anyway, so... This is the proof. Nope. It's true, that is very important. However, I'm not so foolish as to think that will pass for evidence here. Mr. Trite, it's time you learn the truth. Oh, God. Godot blend number 49. It's bitter. Very bitter. I didn't really have a backup save for that, so whatever. Nah, we can't prove it. I can't prove it. Just as I thought. Damn it. Shut up. You know that it's actually illegal to honk in New York City, but people honk all the time.
Objection!
People are just not aware of the law, and they don't enforce the law, so... I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean. Are you serious? Are you serious? I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as Master Mask. We don't want... Love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as mask to mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Rhonda Lights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detective-ness. Yeah, shut up. Order in the court. Odor in the court. Somebody didn't wear their, Old Spice today. That someone is me. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more, and we don't have tomorrow. Why not? I'm sorry. Why am I Double Jeopardy? I love Double Jeopardy. Should a defendant be... That defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime? What? Mr. Atme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as mask to mask, which means he'll be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard as far as concerned. I totally butchered the words. That's not good news for me or my cat. Oh well. It seems this really is the end of the game. I've cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there is no more testimony, who's gonna hop in and save the day? Somebody please hop in. Watch it be Ron. Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atme. Oh crap. Thank you! I knew it was gonna be either Ron or Desiree. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what you was on your report card every year. It has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you... Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? It's Mia? It's Mia? Mia, how are you here? Are you possessing Maya right now? Oh my god. Oh man, long time no see, Phoenix. Mia, you're positively bursting out of her. This is the true power of the Karain channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. That's true, but... Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. You tell him, Mia! Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Love wins out in the end, after all. I'm the ace detective as well as mask to mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Rhonda Lights will verify that he's the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. What in the hecking heck? Something the matter, Mr. Godot? Nothing. Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods would do anything to me, Luke at... Let's hear it. Oh, thanks, Godot. True that the witness made some remarks, so then let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Yes, please. The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about if... Wait, you weren't at Lordly Taylor? What? I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. Are you kidding me? My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the... It's possible he could be colorblind, but... why? Dang it. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything. But of course! But, how'd you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me, and I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. Grr. Are you gonna make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? Trouble? Usual shenanigans? What shenanigans? We cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last What do you mean my last chance? Hang on a sec. Hang on! Just one chance? Ha! Seems that the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts that testimony. So it would seem... Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? Well, we can submit profiles. Is that what you're getting at? A case-breaking contradiction. Are we down to the end of the case? Cup number 17, the last cup. The time has come to put an end to this trial. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. You know what the best thing about 17 is? It's half of 34. Also, what was that awkward transition between, like, the black background and behind Phoenix and the courtroom background behind Luke? You remember, you only get one chance. Very well, then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination. This is it, y'all. Oh, God. It's true that I was not at Lordley Taylor. Mr. Atmey, about this last remark. What the... You still don't get it? Oh, darn it. Are we gonna get penalized for pressing on the wrong statements? And now it's time for me to drink my last cup, Mr. Wright. What? 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 No! Oh, god darn it. Let's press this statement. Mr. Atmey, about this last remark. You still don't get it, Mr. Trite. This isn't the time to be okay, is this the same? I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. What? Mr. Atmey, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, is that correct? That's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. So you say. Nor that your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as mask-to-mask when he went to the scene of the crime? That was... just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Huh? Did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry. Oh. Oh, so we're saying... Oh. We're saying that... Yeah, I'll just let it keep going. The only people who know about this are those who were in the other trial, the one that you weren't in, because you were in the next courtroom over. There was no way you should have known about that. But it's presumable. I don't know.
Objection.
He must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find it. Well, it's a pretty reasonable deduction. Like, if Ron was going there to commit a crime, then he wouldn't have just went there plainclothes if he didn't want to be recognized. Okay, so what was his testimony? Right, there was a suspicious shadow. I wonder. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. Mr. Delight never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atney. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, the real killer saw Ron Delight. Detective Atney, you saw Mask to Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. I have no words. This is the same as your other breakdown. It's not even that interesting of a breakdown, except it just had a little earthquake before it. Are you gonna have a better, more interesting breakdown? Are you gonna get struck by lightning like Damon Gant? I don't get how that was the thing that turned the trial around. Oh, it's Ron. I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict. You have never committed any murder. That's right. I'm just so glad you understand that, but I really am Mask to Mask. So, thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Now that you mention it, I've been careless. What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then Mask to Mask is really innocent? It would seem so. For now. Oh god, Ron, just don't go stealing any more stuff. Don't be stupid. What a weird case. Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. Oh, God. Ron. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Karain channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother, Misty. Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. See you around. Bye, Maya. I mean, Mia. Ah, Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congrats. Come on, just be happy already. You've been cleared out of the murder charges and got off as Mask to Mask to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Mask to Mask, I did it all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. She was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. What? What happened to just loving you for who you are? But it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. Well, that's not actually true. Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine and Nick can prove it. I can? I kinda wish you could check with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. I mean, the first thing I'm thinking of is this. Is it gonna be this? Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that, but, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really mask to mask either. She looks so happy about it. What are you gonna do now that you know? You're not gonna really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? I mean, I don't know what you see in him, but whatever. After all, my bike's really fast, so fast that there's no way he could ever get away. You mean... Didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. About that. Oh, like that detective. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy, yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Well, take care of yourself. You too. Gulp. I can face my feel. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations. Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife, in front of Mystic Maya. No, 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 you got it all wrong. And that's the end. So just as the case came to a close, so too did my What? I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. The end. Man. I'm so relieved that that case is over. What in the world? That maid outfit. What in the world? Anyway, I think I need to take a rest from this game for a little bit. I really wanted to finish that case. But, yeah, whatever. Anyway, I don't know how to end this. Alright, see you in episode 3. It's gonna be even more fun and crazy. Hopefully.